Hello humans, this is Random Guy and welcome to the Random Channel. Today we're going to be continue playing Medieval Fantasy Wizard's Choice, Chapter 6, Part 4. And we are currently in the prison realm, which fairly resembles Earth. And what we did was possess a girl. We know that the guy Joe is supposedly the bully and who has been sexually harassing us is the prison guard that is indeed a demon, and we are currently with Reginald, and we have a choice because our mana is constantly decreasing because we are astral possessing and yeah, astral possessing, astral traveling, and possessing another body, whatever. So now we have three options. We can talk to Reginald and explain the situation to him, and we could look for other demons to crush, which would give us power, or we could go back to Joe and crush him. Now the problem here is that I am not sure. I am not, I don't think going back looking for another demon is going to be very effective, considering I only have 13 mana. Maybe if I had 30 mana, I would possibly do that. But I think either talking to Reginald or going back to Joe would be the better option. I think talking to Reginald first so that I can explain the situation to him. Then I will go back to Joe so that I can kill him. So let's begin. Mana decrease 1. You grab Reginald's arm and pull him along. So Heather, I haven't seen you around. Reginald says, you knew? Maybe, you say. Reginald draws his eyebrow down like he's trying to comprehend something. He says, so you don't know if you're new? What's strange here? What's strange here that is? You say, pointing to a young woman across the yard. You don't point at people, Reginald whispers, especially those people. You suppose he's right. Even in your world, pointing at strangers is generally a bad idea. Those are called pigtails. Shit, I'm a guy and I even know that, says Reginald, ushering you to walk away from a gaggle of attractive young women who are sitting in benches in a circle. Those chicks are royalty, the most popular. You need to be nice to them, says Reginald. You frown. They do not have the accoutrements of royalty, no pendants, no rings of significance. I don't know what you're saying, but we just call them royalty because they're the hottest bitches. Reginald catches himself and then resumes. They're very pretty, but personally I think they're kind of scary too, like sadistic. They're led by this teacher, Mr. Mayor. Teacher, you ask. Yeah, I know, Reginald says, shaking his head. People say he gets it on with them even though they are students. Reginald lowers his voice further. Anyway, my buddy Justin said one day, yo, I'm gonna go talk to him and tell him I wanna get spanked. And sure as shit he does. I watched him talk to them and they looked at him like they were going to eat him. Then they took him by the hand somewhere. Raise your eyebrows expectantly. Reginald says, well, at first me and the boys were jealous of Justin because we figured he scored, but then nobody saw him again. We invited him He invited them to hurt him, and so they did. I would suppose those girls are demons, and most likely they slit his throat and crushed his soul. Well, that's me saying that. I was like, why does he know that? He invited them to hurt him, and so they did. I would suppose the girls are demons, and most likely they split his throat and crushed his soul, you say. Or at least, if he was lucky, they killed him quickly. Reginald frowns. Well, they're intimidating, but I'm not sure that they're that psycho. Sure, the idea of them killing Justin came up, but it wasn't the most likely explanation. I mean, Justin wasn't the smoothest with the ladies. Still, Reginald trails off. You two, okay, so we have two targets now. I think I would go for these girls first and then go for Joe because, I can crush their souls. Then I would have enough power to take on a prison guard. I think fighting a prison guard would be very difficult. The two of you discuss other matters and you come to find out this is a school where children are supposed to go to learn life skills, although you're not sure what those are since none of them seem to have much value unless they are all training to become scribes. They seem to know nothing about magic or demons, and Reginald gives you the strangest looks when you ask about these things. You begin to feel your energy draining as you continue to hold on to this body. You decide it's time to hunt down some demons, probably the most powerful one. After crushing it, you should be able to open the gate and get Reginald out of here. I would like to meet your guild master. You say, my what? Asked Reginald. You are an apprentice, correct? You asked. Look, I like you. I don't know if it's... He cups his hands up to his chest. What? What? Look, I like you. I don't know if it's... He cups his hands up to his chest. What? What does that have to do anything with an apprentice? You give him a startled look and then you look down at your own blossoming chest. I didn't mean it like that. Reginald says, his face turning red. What I mean is that I think you're attractive, or like, your shoes are cool. It's just you're a little weird. Is weird so bad, you ask? No, different, that's all. I know you're new, but are you from another country, like a foreign exchange or something? From a distant land, yes. It is called Favalecha of the primary material plane. Oh, that sounds awesome. Favelcha of the primary material plane, you say. Oh, never heard of it. Well, you don't have an accent, says Reginald, and since you talk like that, I might not know what you're saying or what to say sometimes. Say back sometimes. Reginald kicks at something on the ground. Kicking at the ground was something that old Reginald did when he was nervous. You cannot help but smile. Reginald, Reg, who is in charge of this place? You ask. The principal, of course, says Reginald. His name is Principal Voland. Let us see him now. So you say, grabbing Reginald's arm. What? Nobody wants to see him. That guy's gotta be the scariest motherfucker around, says Reginald, pulling away from you. You try to comprehend his words. This language, although it's continues to become easier, it's still awkward in your mind. You shouldn't be surprised that a demon would behave like that. Still, you have to ask. He does that to his mother? Trevor shrugs, sorry. Look, people don't just go talk to him. You get sent there, then nobody sees you again. What do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk to him about? Actually, you're not sure. This place, this Voland, must be a demon. After all, he's in charge. And demons being the way they are, if they are in charge, he's probably the mightiest demon of them all. If you can crush the soul of the greatest demon in this prison, you might yield enough power to open the gate and get you and Reginald out of here. I have been sent to him. What the fuck was that? To catch a glimpse of your leader, I have been sent to him. I must crush his soul. I was thinking of crushing the girl's soul first and then moving on to Joe and then moving on to what was that guy named? The principal, Voland, but I guess I'll just crush his soul. Strange choice. That was a random choice. You reason that you owe Reginald the truth. Crush his soul. Reginald says yes. I didn't think she would say it out loud. I thought he was just thinking that. I was wondering what does that even mean. He just said it. That's stupid. Yes, with the power I harvest from his soul, I can open a gate to exit this prison layer of the abyss. You say, oh shit, I just remembered. I have to get to class. Reginald exclaims and hurries away. You trail behind him, pleading with him to help you see Principal Voland, but he does not comply. Rather, he disappears into a room full of young people sitting at desks. He promised to help you as soon as the class is over, so you wait in the hall. By the time he gets out, you feel drained from holding on to this world. I'm sorry, I made up that unusual lie earlier. It is just that I was being sent to the principal and was afraid. I wanted to sound brave, so I said I could crush him. But now I just need someone to come with me, and I like you, you say. Man, I just have 10 mana. How am I supposed to fight? Holy shit, like I have 7 life and 10 mana. I can't even fight with a knife. I doubt even I have a knife. How am I supposed to do this? I have made one wrong choice after the other. It's not that. It's just that sometimes the choices come along and I'm just not sure how to deal with a situation like that. I've never been in any remote situation of these sort of conversations or any sort of conversation that would remotely give me any sort of experience to help in this sort of conversation. That was the first time I saw the colons to mark a certain sentence, so I didn't know if that would just say it out loud or would it just like hold on to it or something. You get the point. Like I didn't know that he would just say it out loud. Yeah, I can walk you there. It's kind of on the way to my next class anyway, he says. Reginald leads you along a path as he makes assurances to you like, all that shit, all the what? All that about people disappearing and shit? That's just a rumor. It's definitely not true. There's a group of young people gathered under an eave in the courtyard. At first you think they're very pale. Then you realize they're wearing makeup. They're dressed all in black. Although their clothes are strange, they remind you of a little of the clothing in your world. That's probably the goths. Perhaps they know something about about this. Perhaps they know something of this principle, you ask, nodding around. Reginald stops you and puts a hand on your shoulder. Look, you're new, so let me give it to you straight. These kids are creepy, and everyone hates them. They're like witches or some shit. Did I hear you? Did I hear you're new? A short boy asks, approaching them, approaching a bench. He has a black eye and his lip trembles when he speaks. Don't go to Miss Gwendolyn's history class. She's satanic. She's not as bad as Miss Crullen. You had her for algebra? Asked Reginald. Nah, I just got transferred. Oh my god, this school sucks. It's like hell or something, says the boy. Yeah, I got transferred over here like a month ago. Seems like most kids are they it seems like most kids here are transferred. Oh shit. The new boy cuts Reginald off. He stares with wild terror at a group of cruel-eyed young men and women walking towards him. He then sprints off. Yeah, there's kind of a bullying problem here, says Reginald as he pushes you along. You must have first lunch. Lunchtime is worse for newbies. The two of you continue along until you come to a large white building, unlike the other buildings. This one does not have a smooth wall. Rather, it has exquisitely uniform stonework and a great deal of intricate sculptures around the windows and upon eaves. Here it is, Reginald announces. His eyes are darting around fearfully. Reg, will you not come in with me? You ask. Reginald takes a long look at you, sighs and says, what the hell, I gotta be crazy, but his voice strays off as he hurries up the steps and opens the door for you. The ringing in your ear as you enter the entrance chamber. It is as though there is a spell effect on the area, perhaps a zone of silence meant to shroud the visitor from the horrors within. Or maybe that's just your imagination. One thing is for sure, there is a power here. As a visitor, you can sense it. Up there, that's the main office, says Reginald as he ascends a wide granite stairs. As you reach the top, large double doors swing open as though on their own accord. Because of the darkened back screen and just the white text, and I'm continuously looking at the white text, I suddenly like phase into the screen and like I can't see around me that clearly, and I just focus on the text, and it's kind of trippy. It happens. I mean, just take like a paper or something and make a dot in center of it. Just focus on it for continuously. Like, don't look at anything else. Just focus on the dot, and you feel weird, and the vision gets absurd. Something like that. Inside is a large room. You see a very young woman, a student you presume, pouring liquid out of a large round glass container. Coffee, the word whispers in your mind. The walls are covered with paintings. Some depict things that are familiar to you, dragons, goblins, and the like, while other paintings show alien creatures and machines, either from other worlds or completely made up. You're not sure which. Near the center of the room is a set of couches. On one of the couches sits a thin man wearing, the word comes to you, suit, and the fabric hanging around his neck is a tie. To you, the tie seems like a dangerous thing to wear, particularly in the abyss. Sitting beside the man on each side is a beautiful woman. Well, perhaps girl would be a better description. Like the girl with the coffee, they look to be little older than the body you currently inhabit. One of them is blonde, the other has a jet black hair. They each wear short skirts and tight tops. The man is caressing the leg of the blonde, his hand creeping up towards the hem of her skirt. Both girls look over at you and Reginald with only a flicker of interest. The man, seeing you, slowly removes his hand from the legs girl. The girl standing next to the counter turns to you, almost threatening you with a steaming pot of coffee as she looks you up and down. Can we help you? She asks in a tone that tells you she has no intention of being helpful. I would like to see the principal. Principal Volan, you say. Your voice comes out in a pitiful squeak. The man stands up, straightens his tie, and then points at Reginald. You can leave now, he says in an imperial voice. Reginald stiffens neck to you. Mr. Mayor, I'm sorry, I'm with her, he stammers. Mr. Mayor begins walking towards Reginald with a very nasty grin. Definitely a demon. You think to yourself, no demon tolerates defiance from an inferior. Although it makes you happy to see a glimpse of Reginald you knew, the one who would never leave a damsel in distress, you don't want to put him in harm's way. They could all be demons, and against these odds, you don't want a brawl. Perhaps you haven't even found your target, Principal Voland, yet. On the other hand, if you're able to get the power you need for the gate spell, it would be very convenient to have Reginald around. instead of having to go find him later. Hmm. The problem is I don't have a lot of life or mana, so this sort of situation could get me killed. And this body is definitely weaker, even more so than my wizard body. So I definitely need the mana, so I need him to stay. Yes, he is with me. I see no reason. You scream out in pain as a scalding coffee splashes over your arm and chest. I'm sorry, says the girl with the now half empty coffee pot. Did I interrupt you? Suddenly, Reginald begins retching as if he will vomit. Looks like your friend is sick. He need to see the nurse, Mr. Mayor says, with a gleam in his eye. Although distracted by your burn, you thought you made out some arcane motion from the man in your peripheral vision. Spellcasting demon, you think, probably a powerful one. He casts some minor curse on Regnal. I hope it's minor. You mentioned to Regnal to leave. He stumbles out of the room. The door slams as he leaves. Come in. Mr. Mayor beckons, and then he returns to his place on the couch between the girls. You move further into the room. To your left, there's a large steel door inlaid with the woodland scene. There's a satyr standing in the middle. I don't know what that is. Staring hauntingly out as though trapped in the cold metal. It could be your imagination, but you think you can hear faint screaming coming from within. So the young lady would like to see the principal. See her principal. Mr. Mayor smiles cruelly. Well, I should think we should run along and fetch him then. Tiffany, would you mind going and fetching Principal Bolin? The blonde gives him a startled look and shakes her head empathetically. Gods no, she says. The other girl looks at her, laughs cruelly. A ruthless rivalry between these demon underlings, you think. Our principal is not one to be disturbed on a whim. Perhaps you have a good reason. Tell me, how would you like to meet him? Asked Mr. Mayor with a look that you cannot help but find predatory. Demons, being the sadists they are, enjoy inflicting pain, and some, it is said, enjoy receiving it. You would say that you want to be disciplined. No doubt they would like that. But do you really want to invite mistreatment from sadists? Another option is to say that you were sent here, although you may be asked by who, which could get you into trouble. Finally, you would try to possess one of them. Mr. Mayor is probably too powerful, but perhaps one of the girls. Once in possession of one of them, you may be able to gain access to their master. However, to attempt to possess a demon will require extra power. Oof, I cannot spend the mana. I will just die. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I could say I was sent here by Joe, but he's not a hall monitor though. Oh boy, I guess I will have to be disciplined. Life decreases 5. You search for the word from your host's mind. Naughty. I need to be properly disciplined. I hope you're up to the task. Mr. Mayor, eyebrows bounce up, then he exchanges look with the girls. Oh, I think we are up to it, he says. The girl grins and sees you. So you want to see Principal Roland, do you? Mr. Mayor slaps you so hard, then you black out. When you awaken, perhaps only a few moments later, Mr. Mayor is staring into your eye while frowning. This one is not ready, not yet, he whispers. Next time you should be careful what you ask for. You might get it, says the blonde. You sit up and your side hurts. Had they been beating you while you were unconscious? So true, says Mr. Mayor, and then he tilts his head towards you. I hope there are no hard feelings. Some lessons can only be learned the hard way. Mr. Mayor stands up and backs away from you a few steps as the young woman closes in. For a moment you think they're going to attack you, but their gait is too leisurely for that. We have been keeping our eye on you. What? We have been keeping our eye on you, says Mr. Mayor from behind the wall of flawlessly skinned beauties? Wait, the wall of flawlessly skinned beauties? Is there like a trophy or animal trophy or something up there? Because like I don't understand what does flawlessly skinned beauties mean. If he means the girls by that sentence, then that's a bit weird because why are they skinned? How come you don't go to the parties? I do not know, you say. Other engagements have been what am I doing? Other engagements have indisposed me. What a fine manner of speaking you have, says the dark-haired beauty. You must be very smart. She puts out a hand and caresses your cheek. You flinch. Where are you from? Asks the blonde. Gods, I do not fit in well in this world. And that's a typo. I do not fit well in this world. I do not want to alert them, you think. No, you pause as you search your host's mind for a word, something relaxed and local. No, I ain't from around here, you stutter. One of the girls laugh. Oh, a sense of humor. We like silly girls, she says. And out of nowhere, she produces a small sheet of paper. Just tell the man at the door that Tiffany invited you, says the dark haired girl, who you suppose is named Tiffany. Yes, Principal Voland likes his students to have fun and relax, says Mr. Mayor. You want to ask if Principal Voland will be at this party, but Tiffany spins you around and pushes you out the door. Don't forget, don't let us down, she says, and then the door shuts behind you. Reginald is waiting at the bottom of the stairs with a smile. Thank God, there you are. Are you okay? You nod. You saw the principal and he didn't turn you into a lampshade. Reginald asks. I did not see him. All I got was this. You say, pulling the party invitation out of your pocket. Reginald's eyes widen as she looks at it. Oh, yeah. This is at Tiffany's Nordstorm's house. She's one of the TAs in the teacher's lounge up there. She's super popular. I can't believe you got an invite to this. Her parties are supposed to be legendary. You call her a chick? Believe me, she's not a baby chicken. She's most certainly a demon. All of these girls are, you say. Demons? Well, I was going to say bitches. They're really hot though, says Reginald. Not werewolves, they're demons. Oh, because he called them bitches, and so we were like, what bitches? They're not werewolves, you know. They're demons. Do you not know what a demon is? You ask. Yeah, they're like devils or something, says Reginald. No, devils are completely different lineage, you say with a sigh. Oh, how you wish Reginald had memories of his earlier life. It would make things much easier. Huh. I bet you read a lot. Do you read about unicorns and shit like that? Asked Reginald. There are unicorns here? You ask excitedly. It never occurred to you that you might find allies in a prison world of the abyss. Yeah, we did find a unicorn in the first chapter now that I remember. It died, didn't it? I don't exactly remember what happened, but I was pretty damn sure it died. Um Look, we both missed our third period. You want to go somewhere and, I don't know, hang out or something? Ragnar licks his lip. Although his body and mannerisms different, there is something very familiar with his tone. Gods, he wishes to know me, you realize. Although this makes you uncomfortable to say the least, you hope to someday have a chance to tease him about this. You allow Reginald to lead you off around a few buildings to a bench. You hand him the invitation and have him swear that he will attend the party. Although Reginald says that he highly doubts the Principal Voland will be there, you think it's likely that there will be other powerful demons. Perhaps you can crush enough of them to raise the power you need for a gate spell. We'll go together, he says. Just then, you feel a jolt and almost like being violently pushed. Your eyesight begins to blur, and then you go dark. You watch the body of the young girl you possessed recede below as you float away. I have 10 mana. Why did I get pulled out of the body? Next thing you know, you're standing in the infinite staircase. I said do not dally here. The gladness demon is plastered over the wall as you remember it when you push through it. Gods, I'm back in my body. You realize Azazel stands with her hand gripping your shoulder. You step down the stairs with Azazel's nails digging into you. Where are you going? She hisses. I found Reginald but have not yet been able to muster the power I need to get him out of there. Now I must rest, you whisper in her ear. The succubus has a scent that is so intoxicating that you almost bite her. Okay. Azazel lets out a low growl and stares intently into your eyes for what seems like a long time. Then, as though satisfied with her analysis, she nods and pulls you away from the guarded door. It would be unwise for you to lie to me, she says in a measured tone. You were gone for only an instant. There must be some sort of time shifting between worlds, you say. I spent an hour or longer in that world. Succubus nods. Harvesting worlds usually are disconnected in time from others. The shifts can be unpredictable. What of Reginald? How much time have passed in this world since I returned to the staircase? What? How much time has passed in this world since I returned to the staircase? You ask. Hard to say. Perhaps no time, or perhaps he was corrupted and crushed long ago. That is why you must stay in that world until your quest is complete. Then I must hurry, you say. I can sleep here on the staircase. No, it is not much further, says Azazel. What? You cannot be near the portal to your mansion already? We cannot be near the portal to your mansion already? You say, oh, okay, so we were going to be sleeping on the stairs, and then she was like, no, not here. So you're like, we're not that close to your mansion, you know. Or she's like, a better place. She grins. Deciding that pumping Azazel for more information is likely futile, you move on to other questions. I do not understand. If expediency is what's needed for this quest, why not just allow me to crush a powerful demon in your world so that I can properly rescue Reginald, you ask. Azazel sneers. You overestimate Neryl's will for you to succeed. She wants this soul because it was denied her. It was denied her, but that does not mean she's willing to sacrifice one of her more powerful servants for it. Have you found the demon lord of that prison? I know of him. They call him Principal Voland. He's guarded, you say. Find a way to crush him. Not only will you receive the power you require to rescue a friend, but also it will please our mistress. You see, in addition to crushing a soul dear to Prince Lanaz, you would also cause anarchy among the lower demons of the prison as they battle for a new hierarchy. It would be very costly and embarrassing for the princess Azazel. Okay, you consider this. Neryl is evil, but she's also very powerful. So it would be nice if you could please her, especially if this would bring discord to yet another evil. And another reason to destroy this Principal Voland, Azazel says nonchalantly. The governor of the prison lair is one who sets the most powerful ward that protect the lair. With him alive, his power will likely block your gate spell anyway. You did not say I would have to destroy a demon prince at the beginning of this, you exclaim. Hardly a prince, not even a lord. He is but the governor of a small lair, although I admit your chances are slim, she smiles. The two of you trudge on for a time until Azazel stops at a door. As she alluded to, she is not the this is not the door back to her mansion. You can rest in here, not too long. The more time we waste, the more likely your friend will not be saved, and you will remain with me for an eternity of torment, she says. Her tone tells you that she might not mind this last outcome. The two of you crawl out of a tiny cave into a bleak world. Although you are outside, there is hardly anything growing. The land is exposed rock carpeted by black soot. Off in the distance are great plumes of smoke as though the land is on fire. Nearby are slabs of stone arranged like tree trunks of a small forest, arranged with symmetry indicative of man. Azazel hurries up. Whoa, 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 whoa. Are these like I mean, we're inside a cave. I was wondering, are these like those stone hedges or whatever they're called? In America, I think they are. But no, we are inside a den or cave or whatever, so that's probably not it. Azazel hurries up the hill. Azazel hurries up the hill towards the monolith. Not knowing what else to do, you follow. You ask her questions, but she is ignoring you as she looks around with a pleased expression on her face. Now, within the stone forest, you inspect the slabs, the strange symbols carved onto the otherwise smooth surface. Out of the corner of your eye, you see a shape move swiftly past. But when you look up, it is gone. Who is there? You ask. My sisters, says Azazel in a tone that tells you she does not enjoy family reunion. You step closer to the succubus for protection. Ah, there we are. Azazel purrs as she points into the distance. Walking up a trail towards the stone forest is a solitary man. Even from this distance, he looks downtrodden, like someone carrying an unseen weight. Azazel lights up and prances over to the edge of the monolith like a wife waiting for her long absent husband. What? Okay. Yeah. That is a very decent imagery. The way it's put, a wife waiting for a long absent husband. The man looks up, gives a smile darkened by soot, and quickens his pace. Stumbling up to Azazel, he makes as though to embrace her, but she pauses him back. Why are you here, sir? She asks gently. I want to feel once. He begins to sob. I do not care what you do with me after, just give me joy for a little while. Your kind has taken everything from me and my land. As the man falls to his knees, pleading, two other women, succubi, you presume, emerge from the shadows. Ah, the bitch is off her leash, cries one. Is your mistress aware you are here stealing scraps? Do not test me. I will slay you both, says Azazel. As long as I am here, I will take what I want. Slay the two of us, yes, but what about three? The one motions and the third succubus slinks out. It seems that succubi are always traveling in group of three. You think with the notable exception of Azazel. You make a note to ask her about that sometime. Not that you expect much leisure conversation with her. Lie down over there, Azazel commands the man, pointing at a stone slab that had fallen over on its side to make a sort of table. He dutifully hastens over to the table and climbs aboard. Azazel then advances towards the three succubi, driving them away as they snarl. Soon they are out of sight, hidden behind stone slabs. You consider your options. You came here for rest. You came here to rest and get your strength back. When, well, there's a man right there whose soul you could crush. Not exactly the most heroic idea you have ever had, but he's offering his life to these demons anyway. So perhaps you can put him to some good use. Alternatively, Azazel seems to be pretty confident in her handling of the situation. Maybe you can win favor by aiding her against the other succubi. Another alternate is to run along to a cave. If Azazel loses this fight, you're guessing you know who will be the next on the menu after this poor guy. Finally, you can hold your action for now and see what happens. Why do you give me so many options, dude? It is so difficult to even think what sort of situation I should go for. I'm not gonna crush his soul. Even Azazel called him Sir, so I'm pretty damn sure he's of some importance, even if he is not strong. Um, I don't think I am up for a fight, so I don't think I can go and help Azazel. Um, Run back to the cave. I feel like I'm gonna die as soon as I click this option, but I think this is the best option. Let's run back to the cave. Cowardly retreat. Cowardly retreat. You might live, but can you live with the shame? Morale decreases 1. As you hurry away, there is a great deal of snarling, screaming, and shouting coming from within the stone forest. When you reach the cave, you hide close to a set of large rocks. You consider going inside, but you don't know the nature of the infinite staircase very well, and you're afraid that you might get transported somewhere unexpected. After some time, you hear Azazel shouting for you. Peeking from behind the boulder, you see her in the distance, looking about. Even from here, you can tell she's not happy, although is she ever? Not wanting to inconvenience the temperamental demon anymore than you already have, you jog over to her. Coward, I saw you slink out from your rat hole, she seethes. I have been looking for you. I presumed you had run afoul of one of my sisters. It is wonder our mistress sees any potential in you. Although Azazel is a horrible being, she is rather beguiling and her harsh words pain you. Now that you are close, you see that her clothing is torn and splattered with dark blood. She curls a lip at you. Now, wizard, although you are certain to die a coward's death anyway, feel free to study your spells and take your rest. This will likely be your last chance. You need no more invitation as you hurry away to find a good place to sleep. Okay. Mana increases 7, life increases 7, morale decreases 3. I don't know why that happened. When you awaken, you feel instant depression. It is dispiriting to know that you have another day to spend in hell with little chance of escape. It seems to take all your will to stand on your 2 feet rather than curl up and hope to die. You get up and going. You decide to revisit the gate spell that Azazel gave you. Getting lost in the arcane is always a good way to keep you from brooding. You open the book and begin rereading the spell. You think you mostly understood it from your earlier experience, but it is most complex spell you have. Whoever wrote this did a good job. The symbols and the text are well laid out and done in a consistent hand. You notice one passage of the incantation that was obviously scrawled by a different person. The meaning is not completely apparent. It has to do with targeting the gate properly. Should I go back? I just feel like I took the option that would, not gonna do any damage to me, but I feel like if I did that option, yeah, I feel like I should go back because I might gain some stuff from it. Hmm. Shit, that is a difficult decision. I feel like if I did this, I did get some mana and shit, but I feel like I could have gotten more out of this if I would have fought the other succubi or something. Maybe I can get a mana potion from her. You know what? Let's go back. Let's go back to the last checkpoint. I don't even remember where the last checkpoint is. Where are we? What is this? That door, she whispers soothingly on your shoulder, painfully on my signal. Now, as you're about to pass the goo monster, whispers Azazel. You see no choice but to cast your spell. Oh yeah. So wait, hold on. Where did I go back to? Fuck, I didn't think the checkpoint would be this back. This is like before entering the prison realm. Well, I already know the choices, so I'm gonna just power through these. So I'm gonna play yes, and I'm gonna try going through the door, which is going to just straight up let me through because I remember last time I waited and it doesn't really matter. So you can just go through this door anyway. So we're gonna go down here and we're going to possess one of the girls this time because I don't want to waste too much shit. And this time I'm gonna kick Joe straight up. Groin pains. When in doubt, strike at the family jewels. Joe, is it, you ask? You feel such a rush of shock hearing your own feminine voice that you are barely able to focus on the task. Joe turns to you with a sneer on his face. Up goes your foot. As a wizard, you're no warrior, but thanks to your last few weeks of intensive medieval combat, you're not afraid to get a little physical when needed. And this is just a simple surprise crotch kick. So you're up to the task. Your little shoe, made of strange fabric, has a hard toe. So as it strikes Joe's preciousness, it sinks in nicely. Joe lets out a jagged groan as he hits the stairs. The Asian boy looks at you, surprised, perhaps half smiling, before he begins savagely kicking Joe on the ground. Okay, so this is the same. I'm gonna leave with Trevor. And I'm gonna... What did I do last time? I think I talked to Reginald, and I'm gonna do that. Same thing. I have been sent to him. I'm gonna say this time. Reginald said the principal don't want to see Principal Voland. Reginald said that people don't want to see Principal Voland, but they get sent to him. So decide that this will be a story. Really, Reginald's face turns pale. Hey, well, I should go to class. You would leave me to this fate, you ask. Well, it's just that I'm late and I don't want to get in trouble. This is not the Reginald I know, you think to yourself. What is this place doing to him? Can you not at least show me the way, you ask? Yeah, I can walk you there. It's kind of on the way to my next class anyway, he says. Reginald leads you along a path as he makes assurances to you. You know all that shit. Oh, yeah, I already read all this. I'm gonna tell Reginald it's okay because I don't want to get scalding hot coffee on me again. You can leave. Reg, I will be fine, you say as you pat him on the shoulder. Reginald looks afraid, but still he does not move. Just we're nearby, okay, you say. He nods and then shrinks back out of the room. As Mr. Mayor approaches, the door slams behind him. Yeah, this is this difference shit. I could possess one of the girls, but I don't want to waste mana. I want as much mana as possible for the fight up ahead. I'm just gonna do this. Decrease 5 life, I know. Yeah, this is whatever. I'm gonna help Azazel this time. Another human, one of the succubi says as you approach the three demons stand side by side facing Azazel. Watch yourself, wizard. Azazel warns. What do you do? I'm gonna use Flame Fan. That would be fun. Mana decreases 4. Morale increases 3. Since there are several succubi clustered together, a fan of flame seems appropriate. You step forward, spread your hands out, send forth a sheet of flame that you wash over them. It feels good to smite evil again. The demons hiss and scream as they recoil back. Azazel takes this opportunity to rush them, lashing out with fangs and a dagger in each hand. Soon all three are either dead or bleeding to death. Azazel crushes the soul of one and motions you. You did well, you may crush this one. She offers you one with deep gash in her throat and smoldering hair. Knowing you will need the power in your quest ahead, you recite the harvesting spell. Nice. This is what I was talking about, dude. This is what I was talking about. I knew I could get something out of this. Morale decreases 2, mana increases 12, life increases 1. Your body tingles with power. You drain from the departing soul of the demon. When you finish, Azazel nods to you and says, now then, study your spells and take your rest, wizard. This may be your last chance. You need no more invitation as you hurry away to find a good place to study the gate spell again, and then sleep. Alright, and I got 28 mana. I could like literally bombard the fucking party at this point. But I feel like I'm just gonna lose a lot of this very quickly. Mana increases 7, morale decreases 3. I have shit ton of morale, so that's pretty good. Life increases 7. Life is not going too good, but like it's still pretty good. I can hang on to this unless I get that one shot minus 99 health attack that existed in the first chapter. When you awaken, you feel instant depression. It is dispiriting. Yeah, I already read all this. To get up and going, you decide to visit the spell the Zizzle gave you. You already read all this. Oh yeah. You know what? Let's cut it here. I think it's been 40 minutes since I've been recording. So thank you so much for watching. There's a link in the description to my Twitter. Go follow me there. And there's a link to my Patreon. You can support me there, or there's the first series that I'm uploading there of hentai let's plays is public there, so you can just go watch that and see what type of content I make there. So thank you and bye bye.